I'm showing my work and talking to some customers. Come out back. The old Sausalito Art Festival. This is how it started. This is how that started. That whole big affair over there with loud music. It started with the squeeze box. It started with grassroots. This is sweet.
Because art, unfortunately, we're struggling. All the artists. You know, you gotta support yourself with the art. It's not easy unless you have a nice, husband that can maintain you or wife that maintain you, or you are lucky to be a big name and you invest a lot of money, like a McDonald's artista, the famous. He spend I think $500,000 a year per year over advertising, just advertising. So this is becoming a business, not anymore art. Artista. This is the artist. There's an artist. These people. There. The art is there. And the soul. This is for the real artistic because over there was going on the Sausalito Art Festival. I think that, I don't know for sure, but I think that to have a booth over there, and there's something like 1,100, 1,200, I don't know, something like this. I don't know where is the artista that can spend that kind of money, like the artista that I'm talking before, that I described before, the real artista, not the real artist. I don't know how many people can spend that kind of money, but also if you have a lucky to have it, how much you gotta sell for get your stuff, back. Not everybody have the stuff that $3,000, $4,000. No, I mean, you gotta sell and sell and sell. I don't know. No, this is perfect.
Yeah. No soap. It would be boring. If I feel like painting it, I just feel like I just paint it. If I can control it, and they don't mind me doing it, I'll just paint on it. Like mailboxes, I've done the mailboxes, stuff like that. I mean, it's real easy. I painted my boat too.
You find some sense of tranquility, or?
No, I just do it for the fun of it. I mean, to me, it's like color up the world a little bit instead of all the boring shit. Everybody wants the same color, the same shape, the same everything. They all want to fit in because they're all petrified of being alive. So hey, be different. Like Peggy over there. Look at her. She got a million colored pencils and she's color everywhere.
When I started at the San Francisco Art Institute, right after the wheel was invented, somewhere around there, I graduated from there in 1985 with a fine arts degree, and then I worked with a hardware store. But fine artists do. These have got all over the world little boats. You can edge a little porthole, see a little starry sky on a bad day. This is my pizza box gallery. I can put all my little paintings in a pizza box. I put them on the back of my bicycle. There we go. For sale. Just the painting. Maybe. That's about it. It's a great happening here. I hope that could be in the second annual. Here's the boss man here, the table. That's the arty table he's got.
So, you've been an artist for many years. You've gone to several events. How do you feel about this first time event here?
Oh, I love it. I was born here in Sausalito. My mother was in the first 12 art shows of the Sausalito Art Festival, and this is exactly what it looked like. and I would earn $1 for every painting I sold for her, so I made $2, which I was very excited about. I was about 4. Bought them all on M&Ms. And since then, coming full circle again, I'm beholden to all of you who put this together, because it's just it's waxing beautiful poetry as far as I'm concerned.
Bill Kirsch. I'm an architect, a painter, and I don't know what can I tell you. I've been painting all my life. And Al Garvey and Michael Bryan I put on the festival in 1966 and 67 downtown, and formed a non-profit. And this is kind of a regurgitation of the same thing. We decided we'd start all over again, Larry and I.
And this is the first year of it?
Yep, first year. And everybody seems to have enjoyed it, including the audience.
Cheers! Another beautiful day in Sausalito, not a speck of fog. Just came from the art festival and continuing on with the art and wonderful Sausalito flavor.
And I've been here and gone, and I had a studio here in a place they call the Village, down in sort of where the Galley Harbor is, but beyond it, in Skinwalkers. And I had a studio there for about 10 years, 2 studios, and then I lived on Liberty Dock, and I lived in Sausalito, and I was here steadily for about 20 years, and then the studios evaporated when they developed the property, and I had to move on. And people would come by and say, "Hey Ralph, why don't you drop acid, man? Because you don't have to read anymore. All you got to do is watch the movie go." And I looked at him and went, "Oh, I'm stuck here."
My name is Maud, and I was born on the Sausalito waterfront. And I was inspired by the boat builders and all of the local artisans that were around. Actually, I'm very familiar with the Vallejo from having friends that have lived there and going to parties there and seeing Varda's sculptures. And in fact, this painting is from a photograph of me in the bilge of the Vallejo years ago when my friend lived on the boat. So yeah, I'm influenced by the water and all the people, all the whole community kind of spirit. I originally lived in Gate 3 in the shipping ways, and I had a theater company that lived on the upper floor, Snake Theater, and my family and siblings lived downstairs. We had railroad tracks running through our house. My dad built the floor eventually, but I grew up doing paper mache and painting and theater production with them, my family, and have always painted since I was a child. And I did a painting that's sort of a homage to my daughter, that I'm an artist, because I was waitressing. And I was coming home and we were really scraping by, and you know, the tip money was our spending money and was very precious. And one night I'm sitting on the floor cutting the money up and burning the edges and incorporating it into this frame that I did for a drawing that my daughter did when she was 3 years old, that to me is as good as Picasso. It's incredible. She's an incredibly gifted artist. And I felt like I had lost touch with that because I just had a baby and I was in survival mode, so I wasn't being in a free space. So I started taking what was so unobtainable and putting it into my artwork, literally. People always look and go, "Is that real money?" "Oh, I've done something, but I photocopied the money." I said, "Well, that's illegal." You think what I'm doing is illegal. That's really illegal. So, you know, there it is. You've got to get there on your own, you know, and it's really up here. So, you know, if you're an artist, do your art and be free.
A friend of mine who is a pretty famous artist, he encouraged me to stop doing graffiti and to do my graffiti on pieces of wood and stuff. So that's why I paint on stuff that I find, because I kind of feel still connected to like the graffiti aspect and the rawness of it. Because I don't like to paint on like perfect canvases, because I don't feel so connected to the art that way. But when I find something, it's like it's nitty and it's gritty, you know? It's like, I dig that.
It's nice. it's a nice crowd. It's nice to see all the local Sausalito folk out and about, and I feel like it's kind of for Sausalito artists and for the Sausalito community, so it's good.
Well, it was only when I was just about probably 19, just before 20, in Florence, in Italy, that's where I'm from. I finished a very guttural painting in the style of de Kooning, very abstract expressionistic, coming from a very deep place inside myself, and was of course of woman, or the muse. And I remember when I finished the painting, putting it in a distance to me so I could really view it, and I was caught inside a spell, a dialogue, a colloquial mutual understanding of each other, the painting and myself. And at that moment I realized that I found a friend forever. And ever since then I've been following that voice.
Someone was just telling me about a t-shirt they saw on somebody here that said keep Sausalito salty. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't, but I just love the idea. This show kind of feels that way. I wasn't here to see what the early, Sausalito art festivals were like, but I have a feeling they were a little bit like this. Someone told me that they they used to be in the park in front of the library, I guess, where all that beautiful lawn and the trees are, and I can't imagine. But this is a great venue, and the music, and Maura's got this great idea, so I hope it happens every year now.
And how is it you've heard about the event?
Larry, my neighbor, in fact, what was interesting is I have a painting here of his houseboat that I did from my bathroom window by moonlight, and he lives that close to me, and I went over to his house the other day to talk about this show, and he had his painting of the big, might have been the Van Dam ferry building by moonlight, and a cloud. Well, he's got it over there in his booth. And I saw it for the first time, his painting for the first time, and I was like really excited. And I said, oh, I have to show you a painting, because I had told him I was doing a painting of his house by moonlight. So there's this really fun, connection and synergy with a sense of really being grounded in Sausalito.
We got it all together.
I try to attempt to capture the place between dream and reality. Good luck. Terrific.
I got my first camera when I was 10, but before that I was always drawing, sketching, and before I got my camera, about the same time I started watercolor, pastel, tempera, oil, and then finally acrylics. But I fell in love with the camera, so that's the one that has persisted. I've been doing it for, let's see, I started since I was 10, so 29 years now, or a little more.
People think the universe is made of stones. They don't know that stones are made of the universe. And when I work stone, it's archaeology. It's not, I'm going to master this stone and make it what I want it to be. It's archaeology. It's exploring to see what's inside there. And that's why I'm an old Waldorf teacher, so something like what we have here with Adriana is what it's about, turning people on to stone. You saw her face when she was working with that. Is there anything better than that? That's the work of art. Freedom is being faithful to your inner voice. If you've got that, you've got it.
Comic books have always been a very strong inspiration in my artwork, but As I got a little bit older, when I was doing some ceramics, I was kind of realizing that I had a little bit of a funky style, which kind of matched where I lived down at the Gates Cooperative. And so I started making houseboats and making fake houseboats, and I don't know, things that have inspired me. Realizing that I was getting too detailed on a lot of my boats. Maybe not too detailed, but the detail was taking so long. It takes a long time. So then I kind of wanted to go for the form of the boat. I wanted to see, like, go for the simplicity in the form of the hull. And then I was thinking how I could really work with it, and a bunch of hulls just standing there seems like some of that kind of boring art, you know? So then I was like, okay, I'll put the faces in there, I'll make boat people. And then I was like, oh, boat people, I'm one of those. It's just great. Definitely enjoying myself right now. It seems like something that would have happened here 20, 30 years ago. And it's cool to have for your younger generation. Like my nephew actually has a booth here right now, and he's showing all the stuff that he's been working on. It's great to see it all right there, and it's cool. There's all different types of people here from the same community, same area.
I was actually, my background is from West Africa, and art is a gift. My dad used to draw, so since I was a little girl, I started drawing and painting since I was a little girl. And in my tribe, we have a lot of figures and like graphic sculpture art. My tribe that I come from is called the Guro tribe. They're well known for their artistic ability, and which is very similar to Picasso. So I thought that I will give tribute to that, you know, culture by, you know, bringing out this kind of art here. So that's what I've been doing.
What is the inspiration for your artwork, if I may?
Mostly my travels. I took my boat around the world, my sailing boat around the world, so it's a lot of places that I painted there when I was traveling. Some photo that I took during the trip that I'm using now. And then whatever that I read or that I get inspired, or different technique, different things. Yep, it varies. It changes all the time.
I have a little kind of a theme parting question, and that's, what is your perspective of freedom?
Freedom. It's well, my perspective of freedom is just being in the ocean, sailing downwind. That's freedom too.
And one last time, your name?
My name is Mark Gunnar, and I live at Galileo Harbor in Sausalito on my boat.
Beautiful here.
Well, I've done a lot of open studios, and I feel like a caged animal in my studio waiting for people to come in where I work. It's kind of a sacred space for me. So being outside and bringing the art outside and being around nature and people walking by, it's just so much more organic to me. It's been fun, and I've met a lot of quirky, fun, local people, and yeah, I'm having a good time.
What's your feel about this event so far?
This is so real. You know, there's really grassroots, and the people are really friendly, and amazing diversity of art.